Hello, everyone. Welcome to Flashcard Friday. We did this 5 ever ago. That means longer than 4 ever ago. And we did it with my old flashcards that I had made when I was studying. No, I did not have a million flashcards when I was studying. I actually did it through my program at FIT. But since then, as SNAP has grown over time, we hear hot demand. First of all, everyone asked for this class again. But also, we have been working on something for over a year now, and it's been the SNABA, FlashMeds. This is my brain today. The SNABA SAFFMEDS. Okay, so I have the only available version right now that we have our one sample box. You'll see it's so cute, everything about it. This was the instructions that went with it. You could see we've done a lot of editing in the interim, editing everything. So we don't have a real version yet, but the cards do function. So we're going to use them today for some games.
The cards are very cute. I have seen them in person.
And when you get them, they're color coded by different area of like section, whether it's measurement or experimental designs, whatever it is. When you do actually get it, I just have to use this as a bragging moment. Again, I have nothing that I could be telling you guys to get, but I just am so proud. Look at this. The timer fits in perfectly. Do you know how long it takes for every detail to like choose how the plastic will fit, what color timer you want, all of it? It's a lot. The instruction fits perfectly on top. Okay, I'm done bragging. This is just took a long time to make, so we're very proud. Okay, so how we're gonna do this today is for anyone who's never done SAFFMEDS, welcome. And there is a type of teaching associated with SAFFMEDS. Anyone know what kind of teaching that is? Or a graph that we use?
I feel like you guys should know this.
I'm glad Danielle knows it. That's good.
The changing country run.
With precision teaching?
It's for fluency building. So the acceleration chart.
Beautiful. It's for fluency building. So the acceleration chart, exactly. We want to see how many we could get right in what amount of time. Now, that would be a little bit hard with doing it with a group of people today. So, and at SNABA, and that's like the generic basic way. Nothing wrong with that. If you guys don't know what SAFFMEDS actually stands for, it stands for Say All Fast Minute Every Day Shuffled. Okay, that's what it stands for. And when you do get the real SAFFMEDS from us, you could just scan the QR code and it will link you to the exact instructions how to do it with how to use SAFFMEDS, like the science evidence-based way, like we do in precision teaching. And it will link you to where you could record all your data. But because we're SNABA, we like to have a little more fun. And so you could use them as a regular way, but we're going to do SNABA style. We have 6 other games in here that you could use your SAFFMEDS for, and we're going to play those today. But just to build a little momentum first, we're just going to do some standard practice. I'm going to read the back of the card, okay? And you guys are going to guess the word, okay? You could feel free. Should we do it out loud or in the chat?
Let's do it in the chat so
Okay,
people have the opportunity to look.
Okay, fine. All right, this one. Okay, you have to listen to the whole thing before you write it, okay? Because you might get it wrong otherwise. Auditory stimulus followed by a vocal response. It has point-to-point correspondence, formal similarity, and there is a GCR. What am I? And I know it's a little hard when you can't see it.
Can you repeat it again?
Sure. This has to, with an auditory stimulus, is followed by a vocal response, and it has point-to-point correspondence and formal similarity, and it is followed by a consequence of a GCR. Oh, I see right answers.
Same.
And the hashtag here is copycat or hashtag repeat vocal. The answer is echoic. Nice. All right, let's try another one. And by the way, the cards, what they look like, see, usually they just have a short definition. We did a short definition. Every single one has examples, and then we have hashtags. So you could play multiple ways. Sorry, regular SAFFMEDS are too boring for us. Okay, next one. This one is the amount of time between two responses.
Nice.
I see fluency. I see that speed. Yes, the answer is the IRT, also known as the inter-response time, right? So the example we have here is time between finishing a load of laundry and starting another. Okay. Let's see. This is, and this goes into our ethics section. Sometimes I'll be nice and give you a section if I feel like it. Formal permission, usually written, signed, and dated, given by a potential recipient of behavioral services or participant in research study. Dude, you guys are quick. Quick. I like it. The answer is, dun, 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 informed consent. Hashtag give permission. Only when necessary will I read the examples. But actually, that's kind of our next game. Okay, I'm going to do two more here. This next word is recording the desired behavior and showing the learner the recording as the model.
Read the question again.
Recording the desired behavior and showing the learner the recording as the model. For example, learning the box routine from TikTok. You guys, most of you got it right. Video modeling. See, I did that like negative sign, like just to scare you. The sound, I mean, I really can't speak today. But you guys got this. Good. Okay. Should we do one more of these and then we'll move on to our next game?
Yes.
This was just for like high P, get you going. All right. Next up. And by the way, the people we see with the highest fluency, we will have you be volunteers in our next games. Specifically
Or
the last
maybe
game.
you don't want to volunteer, but you don't have to. If you get voluntold, feel free to substitute me. You can say, I would like Danielle to take my place.
Or
Just
someone
saying.
else, or someone
Or
else that you
someone
don't
else
like in
that
the class.
wants to
Or
participate.
someone else that you don't like in the class. You could just
There you
pop
go.
on that. All
Either
right.
works.
Here's the next one. Learning a new behavior that gives access to reinforcers that wouldn't have been available previously. I'm not even going to give you the hashtag, but if you're my kind of person, you'll give me the hashtag. So this is learning a new behavior that gives access to reinforcers that wouldn't have been available previously. And Danielle, I need you paying attention to who you see speaking up quickly to use for our last thing. I guess people are going to start doing poorly if they don't want to be an example, right? All right. And the hashtag here is a whole new world. It is a
New world.
behavioral cusp, right? A behavioral cusp is something when we learn it, and those are things that we're going to choose, skills that we're going to choose to work on early when we're choosing what skills to work with an individual. Because this behavioral cusp or new skill is going to give them access to so much other reinforcement. Think crawling, reading, generalized imitation, any of those things. Okay, you guys liking this? We're good?
Yes.
All right. Last one. Okay. I'm not going to tell you what, it's definitely harder when I don't tell you what area of the,
Yes, I agree.
okay, here we go. So this thing, number one, it's a demonstration of functional relations between behavior and the environment. And number two, it experimentally manipulating antecedents and consequences to determine the function of behavior. Dude, we have a savage in here. That was quick. All right, number 1, demonstration of functional relations between behavior and the environment. And number 2, it experimentally manipulating antecedents and consequences to determine the function of behavior. Hashtag FA. It is a functional analysis, right? An FA or a functional analysis is the demonstration of functional relations between behavior and the environment. This is when we're experimentally manipulating antecedents and consequences to determine the function of behavior. All right. Nice work, guys. So what we are going to do now is we are going to move to another SNABA game using the SAFFMEDS. All right. And by the way, how SAFFMEDS actually work, you would actually read the front word and you would give a quick definition on the back. But we're changing it up here. I don't care as long as you're learning. I always say that's why I like doing test prep, because I don't have to abide by all these regulations, which I don't do well following rules. I'm like, I could literally draw out notes in a pile of shit if I wanted, as long as people are learning. And I still stand strong by that. So we're going to do that now. We're about to be, everyone go take a shit and we're about to be drawing in it. Let's go.
No, no, thank you. Not for
All
me.
right. Now what we're going to do is we are going to give you a word and you are going to give me an example. Okay. So how it's going to go, I'll practice this with Danielle first.
I'm ready. I
Okay.
feel like I'm ready. I feel like you're gonna pick a really hard
And
one.
what we could also do for this one, if we want, we could use the hand raising feature. So someone could say it out loud.
Okay, let me see. How do you rate? What do you go more? No. Oh,
All right.
you go.
So what
I
it's going to look like is this. Okay. So I have my word and I will show it to you guys, which I'm sure it's going to read backward. And for this game, all you have to do is just give a legit example and we'll tell you if it is correct or not. Oh, go to react for hand raise. Thank you, Selena. Amazing.
I don't have that on mine since I'm logged in as the
No,
administrator.
and because you didn't update your Zoom yet.
Oh, also that, which I need to do. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, no, but because I know who you are and you're going to do this one anyways. All right, the first word we have is multiple exemplar training.
Oh, okay. Well, that's part of generalization strategies. Do you want like where it lives or you want like an example?
I want an example. This game's called Examples.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was it? Multiple exemplar training? You're going to provide multiple examples of the thing that you are teaching for generalization, even though as many examples as you can, because you can't come in contact with all of the examples that are out there. So if I was thinking washing machines, I would take you to Lowe's and I would say front loader, top loader, agitator, no agitator. This one's white, this one's red, this one's black. Multiple examples.
Perfect. I love it. That's great. Okay, so that I would be like, check, you get it.
Yes.
All right. So now anyone who wants to put themselves out there with a hand raise, you could also do it in the chat if you don't want to be saying it out loud. But I feel like for someone watching this video on YouTube after, you may want to like hear some speaking. So I'm going to do this. All right. Our next word is private event. All right. I saw Selena first.
A private event is something that is not observable to others, something going on internally inside your body. That would be like a headache, as an example. That could be a private event.
Do we want to give her credit for this, everyone? Yes. Okay, good job. Perfect job, Selena. All right. Okay. Next up. You have to unraise your hand. Okay, good. She did. Because then otherwise you're automatically in the next one. All right. Next one for an example. The word we have is point-to-point correspondence. All right. I hope
You know
so.
what?
What?
I was telling Paige she knows it because I know I can see her looking, but I know she knows it. Paige, you want to go?
Okay, yeah, so the first word that came to my head was a duplicate. Because it has formal similarity and point-to-point correspondence. So that would also be like echoic,
Mm-hmm.
mimetic,
Mm-hmm.
and the last one.
What do we do in class if I'm writing and then you're writing? You're copying text.
Okay, copying text. Okay.
Perfect. Okay, now to further test you on this example,
Oh.
give me point-to-point correspondence. That's what this says, right?
Mm-hmm.
I say hello. What can you do?
Say hello back.
Good.
Perfect.
Could you sign hello back?
No, because that would not be exact point-to-point correspondence.
If you wrote out hello, whatever, I don't know how to do it, and I said hello, it would have point-to-point correspondence, right?
If you spelled it,
If
not
you
if you
spelled
like.
I don't know how to spell it. Yeah, sorry.
So if you signed it and then I signed it back, that would be point-to-point correspondence.
That would be point-to-point and formal similarity.
Okay.
Because the form looks the same. But if I say hello and then you sign, I'm sorry, I don't know sign language, but I know Selena was bragging that she does better than Miss Rachel yesterday, so I'm sure she'll do it for us. Right? So then that would be point to point because all points match, even though the form is different.
So think same beginning, middle, and end. As long as it has the same beginning and middle and end, it has point to point.
Perfect. Got it? All right. Next up. Variable time schedule. I kind of think I should like make myself full screen.
Yeah, I think so too.
Is that better? And you guys could pin me.
No.
Variable time schedule.
They can pin you. If you don't know how to pin her, go to the top of her picture and there's 3 little buttons, the little dots. Click the little dots and it'll make her big.
And don't be shy to get it wrong. That's how you learn. I promise you, if you get it wrong in front of everyone, you'll never get it wrong
So
again.
I'm gonna be, there you go. I'm gonna say, Jalen, I'm calling you out. Sorry. I don't usually do that, but I saw you the other day and I know you know this.
Yeah, you saw the panic in my eyes probably. Variable time schedule is used with non-contingent reinforcement. Variable meaning about and time, a certain interval of time. So about every 3 minutes or so, you could give a good job to somebody doing something.
Perfect.
Right? It doesn't necessarily have to go with an actual behavior. It's just kind of throwing it out there.
Right. And in fact, what you said is exactly right. In fact, I don't even have to see what you're doing, right? I could literally just like call upstairs to like my bae and be like, I love you, right? And they might actually be like looking at other naked girls on their phone. I don't know, right? The idea is that like it's about every 3 minutes I'm going to do this, but it's not contingent on anything like you said. Right? So that is the variable time. No response required. They could be engaging in a correct response, but I'm doing it based on time. Right? Nice work. You got it. All right. Next up, we have explanatory fiction. Give me an example. And if you don't know, we'll have to give it to Danielle.
I can do it.
Can I give a stab at it?
Yeah,
Go.
you do, girl.
It's part of the mentalism category, and it would be like he knows how to do that because he's smart.
Ding, ding, ding. You got it. Amazing. Love it. Beautiful. Okay. Next up. Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
The next one is socially mediated contingency.
Okay, Paige.
So socially mediated would be you get reinforcement from somebody.
Mhm. So remember, it just says contingency. So it can be reinforcement or punishment.
So contingent on a behavior, but it's socially mediated by somebody.
Right. Delivered by somebody. Why are you still holding it?
Me?
Yeah.
Because it's cool if you forget what you're thinking about. And I'm laughing at her in the background because I know she knows it. So I'm just covering my face.
Are you waiting for her to give an example?
Yeah,
Like,
she
I don't
didn't give an, oh, yeah, she didn't give an example.
She did
Okay.
explain what it is. Okay.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Okay, so like I told you, good job.
Perfect. Exactly. I needed that, right? Or you passed me the TV remote. Or you're the one who gave your kid the spanking.
Or you say, no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yep. Whatever it is, as long as it's involving someone else. Okay. Socially mediated verse. What is the, when you don't need anyone? What's that word?
Automatic.
Good. You got it. All right. Next up. Fixed ratio. Jasmine. I love seeing new names. Amazing.
So fixed ratio is fixed ratio is a set amount of responses. So it'll be like an FR1. So like every time, I guess like every question that I do, I like earn like 1 minute of a YouTube break or something.
Good. So
Right.
every question, I thought you were going to say after 1 minute. I was like, no, but yes, the break could be on time. That's right. So
Yeah.
yes, every question you get right, you get 1 minute on YouTube. Amazing. And by the way, the test probably would try screw you over like that. They'd put something that like some kind of reward that has time in it. So then you'd be like, I don't know if it's ratio, right? So good, you're a tricky question writer too. Nice work. Okay. It's going to be our last one in this game form. And then we're going to move to our final game, which is my favorite. This one is respondent behavior. All right, Selena.
I always think of your Instagram with Kobe. So when you did the Sour Patch Kids, the grapes with the citric acid. So essentially, respondent behavior would be the response that our body has based on a reflex. And if you take something sour and you put it in your mouth, a respondent behavior might be that you like pucker up a little bit. That would be my example.
Amazing. And how many parts are there of a contingency of a respondent behavior?
Two.
Good job.
Does the consequence, does
She threw that out there. It's fine.
I was like, oh, I wasn't ready for that one.
does the consequence matter?
Well, you have habituation. So as you continue to do it, I don't know.
You have a consequence in respondent behavior.
No, yeah. Well, your consequence is that your body reacted to it.
No, that's the behavior.
Okay.
I did this for you, Selena, on purpose, okay? Don't worry, guys. I will not do this to you if it's one day, your random day, okay? Like there's a little rapport here. I'm not that much of an
Yes,
asshole.
no, she loves me, guys. I promise.
Okay, so what I just want to, while I have you here, I want to talk about, when we talk about respondent behavior, we're talking about the two-term contingency, just the stimulus and the response. So when you're talking about Kobe with the sour candy, there was never a consequence of me teaching him, being like, hey, by the way, when you eat the sour candy, make sure you make the sour face and then I'm gonna laugh at you, right?
Right.
All you need is that stimulus and the response. So the stimulus is like that sour candy, the response is that pucker, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the stimulus and the response, or the A and the B, right? The antecedent,
it.
the candy. Now, so you need to know if it's respondent behavior, only the two parts of the contingency matter,
Correct.
right? But then when we get further into the 3-term contingency, that's when the consequence does matter, right?
'Cause that's
That's
just
like when I'm like, hey, by the way, anytime I tell a joke, you should laugh, right?
Mm,
So then that means in the future, when I tell a joke, you're gonna laugh because you know that like I smile at you or something when you do that.
okay. Does it always
Got
come
it?
with a prime when you do
Huh?
that for the 3-term? Does it come with priming, like letting that person know what the contingency is, or no?
No, not necessarily, but you'll learn it once you come into contact with that consequence. Like no one has to tell you, by the way, don't put your finger in that outlet, it's gonna hurt you. Which
Correct.
if you do listen to that, we know it's rule governed, right?
Right.
That's why you're
Yeah.
doing it. But
Mm-hmm.
no one has to tell you, sure, I promise if you get shocked, you're not gonna do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So just remember that respondent behavior is a 2-term contingency.
Okay.
Whereas operant behavior is a 3-term
3-term.
contingency.
Yeah. We can go all the way up to a 5-term contingency in ABA. It's just,
Yeah, you brought that to us the other day.
I did.
All right, now for the last thing I have to share really quickly, just so that. Our last game we're gonna play. We're already at 30 minutes. Are you guys enjoying this? Yeah? Okay, I'm assuming that's a yes. Yes, good. The classic fuck, marry, kill. Okay? This game, I said we have to do this with SAFFMEDS. Fuck, marry, kill. Why? Because isn't this how you feel about most of ABA? You probably don't know what I'm saying yet, but I'm going to tell you. Okay, so how this game works. There's no wrong answers, just solid rationale to back up your answer. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Are you ready? It goes like this. I'm going to do it with Danielle. Or I'll do it for myself first, then I'm going to do it with Danielle, and then I'm going to let you do it, okay?
Okay.
Okay. And in case you never played this when you were younger, how it works typically is fuck, marry, kill. You'll give like 3 celebrities names, right? And you'll be like, okay, Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Ashton Kutcher, right? And I have to choose which one I'll fuck, which one I'll marry, and which one I'll kill. So I'd say that I'd probably fuck Brad Pitt, marry Ashton Kutcher, and kill Leonardo DiCaprio. Sorry, Leonardo fans. That's how you do it, okay? Based on my own opinion. Now, but you could also give reason behind it. I'll be like, Ashton seems like he'd be like good, like kind of chill husband type, you know, like chill. Leonardo, like, I don't know, I could get rid of him. He's always like banging different models. And Brad Pitt, just like for clout that I could say, like, I fucked Brad Pitt. All right, that's how the game works. But now we're going to do it with ABA cards. Martha likes this game. She's listening on the other end. Okay. Now, I'm going to take 3 random cards. Literally no idea. Okay? 1, 2, 3. All right. So my 3 cards, here they are. I have multi-element design, type 2 error, and schedule thinning.
These are all terrible.
I know.
Ugh.
That's why this game is hard.
Okay. Hold
No,
on.
this is me. And then I'm giving you.
Oh,
3.
thank goodness. I thought it was me. I was like, these are all awful.
Okay, so looking at this, and by the way, there's no wrong answer. Just give rationale.
Oh, God, these are not mine.
I'm gonna kill schedule thinning because like no one likes it when the reinforcement's getting less in life, you know? Like we like when it starts off on a denser schedule. Schedule thinning would be like you're no longer getting a free Starbucks after 1 drink now. Now you have to get another 20, and that might lead to some ratio strain. So I'm good. Kill that. Now I have to decide who I'm gonna marry and fuck. I could fuck with a multi-element design,
Yeah.
right? It's like a good thing. It's like could tell you a lot about something. Like you don't have to stay. Did I say fuck or marry? Yeah, but it also like doesn't feel like you have to marry it because it kind of feels like you don't have to commit to any condition for too long. So it's just like a nice fuck and then like move along, you know? Like you're not in that condition forever. It could just be a few whatever. And then I'm gonna marry type 2 error because as we know, type 2 error is false negative. And so like that's like when someone's saying like something like didn't work, but like when if you have an amazing husband, I'd assume you kind of want the person who is like you think something's going wrong, but they're like, no, it really did work, babe. Don't worry about it, you know? So that's why I'd marry type 2 error. Ta-da! Ah. All right, that's how you play. Danielle, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
This game's harder than it looks. All right.
Nervous.
Okay. Whoa.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
You have applied behavior analysis. I don't know how I got another error. Type 1 error. You might need to write these down for yourself. And
Yeah.
applied. So you have ABA, type 1 error, and applied.
Okay, so I have to think about type 1 error is I think it's working, but it's not, right? It's a false positive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So I feel like I'm gonna fuck with ABA.
Okay.
So because that's what we are. I love the applied science. So I'm gonna fuck with ABA. I'm going to marry applied because I'm looking at socially significant things and that's important to my life. So I can look at socially significant things for myself, for my kids. And then I am going to kill type 1 error because that bitch thought they were working, but they weren't. And that's not okay.
Good. You get the game. Okay, good. By
Thank
the
you.
way, I'm happy that these games are actually working because we have now put it into print. Okay, so it's working. All right. Who wants to be the next volunteer? This is one that you cannot plan for. Okay, you're not going to necessarily know it. You're just like, I'm willing to fuck around and try it.
Okay,
Jasmine.
Jasmine, I love it.
This is
I'm
ballsy.
scared, but it's fine.
Scared.
should-
Don't be scared.
No, none of it makes sense. Don't worry. It's hard. Okay. Okay. I'm being nice too. Don't worry.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. I just did RFT. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, here we go.
Um,
All right, your 3, and if you want to write them down just to have it next to you, are
yes.
continuous reinforcement. See, I'm being nice.
Okay.
Okay. Backward chaining
Okay.
and planned ignoring.
I'm fucking with planned ignoring. I love that.
You said continuous reinforcement, plan ignoring. I forgot the other one.
Backward chaining.
Okay. I'll fuck. So weird. Okay, I'll fuck continuous reinforcement because I'm still getting like reinforcement more often.
Okay, I like that. That's
I
good.
wish I was fucking on a continuous schedule.
All right.
Seriously, I would love to be continuous. I think I'll.
These are your
I'll think I'll. Wow, this is hard. Okay. I'll marry backwards chaining because of the fact, like, one person's going to do the last step for me, and then I'll do the rest, and then kill plan ignoring, because just, ew.
I completely agree because that is such a default technology. Like, who even knows if the function is attention, and then you're just ignoring for nothing?
Yeah, it's definitely plan, like, the fact that, like, plan ignoring is basically, legitimately ignoring the behavior, right?
Right.
So, like, there's some things like a tantrum you can't ignore. Like if especially or SIB or aggression, like some like, very like aggressive behaviors, you just can't ignore. So why the hell would you ignore it? So I'm gonna kill that.
Okay.
I
Sorry.
love it. And have you ever had the silent treatment from a significant other? Yeah. So you definitely don't want that. I totally agree. Kill it.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Okay, good. Who wants to try next? Anything works. Brianna.
Okay, I don't actually want to go, but I do have a question on the planned ignoring thing.
Sure.
Just because aren't there 3 types of planned ignoring? So ignore the behavior, but not the child, ignore the child, but not the behavior, and ignore the behavior and the child. So I don't know. Okay, am I wrong? Like,
So like in general, when you're talking about the different times of timeouts.
So when you're talking about ignore the child, not the behavior, what happens usually is that people will ignore fully, right? So we're like fully engaged in a problem behavior. We're standing on something. We're like being balls to the wall crazy. And people are like, I'm going to plan to ignore them. No, right? So planned ignoring is like, you're being unsafe. So I'm going to not address the fact that you're standing on the ledge. I'm just going to get you down and say, I love when your feet are on the floor. And then you're going to keep going like that, right? I'm not going to be like, don't hit, don't kick, don't spit, don't do that, right? I'm going to wait for that window of when they're not. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that you're standing quietly. And like, you're not going to ignore the human, but people tend to like ignore them fully. And then it's just like this wild and out crazy tantrum behavior. And then that's not what we're doing. Right. And it only works if the function is attention. So I only can use planned ignoring if my friend is engaging in problem behavior to get attention.
Right. And think about it. If someone's doing something to escape, right? They're like, to get out of class. And you're like, I'm ignoring them. They're like, amazing. I don't have to do the assignment. So it's just like that's why they say like the extinction procedure, right? Or whatever the intervention is, has to match the function. So yeah, kill it. Kill it. All right. I saw someone else raise their hand to do it. We'll give one more person a turn. Perfect. I think it's going to be Selena or Paige. Rock, paper, scissors, ladies.
I'll go. I'm testing Monday, so let's do this.
I was gonna say, I volunteer, Selena.
Okay. Perfect. All right, here we go. Your 3 are variable interval.
Okay.
I already know what you're going to do with this one. Standard acceleration chart.
Love you for that. Thanks.
And AB design.
Okay.
Because I know you love experimental designs.
I know. Thank you for
graphs.
this. I appreciate you so much. I'm at work, so I'm not going to say the full word. I'm going to F standard acceleration because I'm hoping it just continues to increase my fluency of making certain pleasurable moments better. Let's just use that. Oh, you gave me the AB too, huh? I want to marry the variable interval because there's no response required. And so maybe I'm just going to get no, I don't want that one. I don't.
No, you could.
Okay.
There's a response required.
Yeah, because I mean, I just, I want non-contingent reinforcement in my marriage. And so I'm going to get the opportunity to have that on a variable interval.
Let's try that again. Stop.
Why?
Variable interval, not variable time.
Oh,
So it's
there
contingent.
is a contingency there with that one. It has to be a variable amount of time. I still like it though as a marriage one.
No,
Yeah.
you still should want to marry it because I mean that keeps things interesting. Everyone loves like the
That's true. Yeah, because there's
everyone
like no
everyone
there's
loves the hot and
no
cold boyfriend.
yeah, I like that. I like that explanation. And I'm
I mean, you
obviously
probably should not want to marry this, but this is what we naturally choose to marry. That's what I'll tell you.
yes, that's true. It's very true. And then I'm gonna kill AB just because it requires a lot of work for me to have to do baseline intervention and then baseline and then intervention. Because it's a
Perfect.
reversal design. So there we
Love
go.
it. You got it. You
Okay,
got
thanks for
it.
that. See, it was a learning opportunity for me because I
Exactly.
focused on the time part of that interval or variable. So thank you. I appreciate you.
Perfect. So that's exactly it. Remember, if it's an interval, there still is a response requirement. Time just has to pass, right? So if it's an interval, if it's a VI 5 minute, it means about every 5 minutes has to pass before you can go on to the website to buy the tickets.
It's what we use also to reduce extinction, correct? So it's like the best way to keep a behavior maintained and working on that generalization would be working more of a variable interval because they just don't know when it's coming.
You mean which one's the most resistant to extinction?
Yeah,
Which one is the most resistant to extinction? Do you know?
variable,
Variable what?
Ratio.
interval.
Variable ratio. Variable ratio is the most resistant to extinction
Okay,
because you're like,
because you don't know when it's coming.
Right.
With the variable interval, you're going to start predicting maybe a time frame. Yeah.
well, you
So-
know that there's some time that has to pass, not dependent on you, right? Like when it's a variable ratio, you're straight in control because it's based on your responses.
Yeah, that's true. Because I do that with my participants. Right now, I have like a kid that says more all the time. So I'm like, it's a variable ratio 5. About every 5 times, he'll get that opportunity to say more and get reinforcement. So funny how we do it and with our kids, but then the test just makes it go over my brain.
Yes, there's a lot of other compounding variables in there.
Well, and also remember a continuous schedule of reinforcement is resistance to extinction if the continuous schedule has been in effect for a really long time.
Okay, good to
So
know.
those
Thanks,
two
Danielle.
pieces. Yes, absolutely.
All right. That's all we have for you today. That was fun. Glad we got to play these different, and for me, really to test out these different games
I
that I've
love
done,
these.
alone, but now with all of you. If you guys need anything, you could go to studynotesaba.com, our website. Contact us at contact@studynotesaba.com. That's our email. We always answer. Our Instagram at STUDYNOTESABA, our podcast. It's a good time for you to catch up right now because we're on a break for the summer. So go catch up on everything on Behavior Bitches podcast. And our next collective starts this Monday. So if you're someone and you're like, how am I going to get started studying? That's our jam. We live for this. And we won't play Fuck, Marry, Kill, but we'll do things probably that are equally as fun, if not more fun. Can't promise, but I mean, it's the same vibe. You'll take notes with us. If you need tutoring, if you need anything, mocks, we have it all. Really just go check it out on our site. And we have more free classes coming up this weekend. So check them out. Get your seat to those. We have generalization.
Yep.
And then we have 3 favorite things people have learned in the collectives. That's on Sunday. So don't miss those. And
then we also have the try it before you buy it. Because
Yes.
class is starting on Monday. So you can, if you're not 100 about collective and you're like, I want to see what it's like, come see us with the try it before you buy it so that you can fall in love and that you can come be with us because you know you want to.
and we'll put it in the chat. And I'll tell you the other sales going on as soon as we end this video and Danielle stops recording. Love you guys. Thanks for coming. Mean it. Mwah.